It's a top 10 list, but not the usual top 10 list. In my earlier video, I made a top 10 list on places I do want to go to, but from I have been not a lot, but I have been checking him off quite slowly, and I did realize that I have been to at least 10 of over 300 places. Uh, so this would be the top 10 list of places from my bucket list, so to speak. Uh, if that does make any sense, I don't know really how to title this video. So I should start off with number 10, which would be Fort Bourtange in the Netherlands. I'm choosing this one at number 10 because it was a real hassle to get to. When I tried to research how to get to it, it said one thing, but when I got there, it was something different, that you had to call a number beforehand to get a car to drive you there, which I didn't know. So someone had to help me call the car to come and get me. So I started in the early morning and got there at about 4 p.m. 3 p.m., which was a long time just to get to a place. It kind of ruined the experience a little bit, but when I finally got there, it was pretty cool, I must say. I would probably recommend it. So number 9 would be Liverpool, England. This one was kind of a hassle as well. Took the train about 9 p.m. Got there about 1. Switching trains and all that stuff. But since I'm a Liverpool FC fan, that didn't stop me from enjoying it. I did go to Anfield Stadium, and that was freaking sweet. So that would be number 9. Number 8 would be Bannerman Castle, which I just did a couple of weeks ago, and that wasn't really a hassle to get to, but it was very short. Interesting, sure. They did have a lot of history. We did have a tour guide that told a lot of history from the castle, which was interesting, but it was short. I think it was just about 2 hours just walking around the island. So it was short. But then again, it was pretty cool just to see the rundown castle and all. Number 7 would be in the Vatican. I was there 2 years ago. It is crowded, which again would be expected, considering the place and all. Even though I had a skip the line ticket, I just went in with some people, and the crowd were huge in there. And when I got out, the line was freaking huge as well. So if you don't like crowds, it's probably not worth it. It did have a lot of things to see and do in the 16th chapel. It's pretty sweet. So this it is why it's on number 6. Number 5. It was number 7. Number 6 would be Tallinn, which I just came home from a couple of nights ago. Well, depending on when I upload this video. The old town is sweet. you can hang around there just all day, every day. But except from the old town, it isn't really a lot to see. There is a park, Kadriuru Park, which is sweet as well. But except for those two, there are some small museums. So all in all, you can spend about 2-3 days in Tallinn. I spent at least 4, and that was too much. I do recommend it, of course. It is pretty sweet and relatively cheap to go to. But it depends on where you're coming from, of course. But I do recommend it nonetheless. Now it would be number 5, and that one would be Rome. Seeing the sights and all, and the Vatican was one of them. Seeing the Colosseum, seeing the Spanish. I don't think I did see the Spanish Steps, but the place has a lot of things to see and do. Great food. Depending on where you're, when you're going, it can be pretty warm as well. But then again, expect a lot of tourists. But just the sights alone is freaking worth it. Number 4 would be Tokyo, Japan. I know it's kind of a stretch. When I put this one, it would be Kyoto. I said Japan as a whole, but Tokyo was one of them. Tokyo was one of them, so at least I got to see Tokyo. And Tokyo is a whole culture, maybe in itself. Sorry for burping. It was pretty interesting to see. I probably didn't see a lot in the week I was there, but it was worth it nonetheless. Great food, great sushi. Sushi is freaking amazing. And I would probably go there again someday when I have the time for it. Number 3 would be Christ the Redeemer. I was there about 4 years ago now. Christ the Redeemer in Rio de Janeiro. It took a while to get there. I was there maybe in the early morning, not the early morning, but at least before noon. It wasn't that crowded, but it was kind of sweet just to go up there and see the huge Christ in person. So I would recommend going to Rio as well. Number 2 would be Normandy. I was there 3 years ago with my brother. Just seeing the beach, seeing the graveyard with all of the soldiers dead. It was surreal to be there. And just walking around Bayou, the city, seeing the museums, hearing about the history, and knowing that it happened over 70 years ago. Sorry for the shaky cam. Yeah, it was very surreal, I must say. And number 1, it's the only place that I have been visiting more than once, and if you have been following my channel, you would probably know this one by now. Number 1 would be Chateau de Noisy, the castle in Belgium. I didn't notice when I was recording that that video got cut off, because for some reason my camera can only film 9 minutes and 49 seconds, and and it got cut off. Uh, Midway when I was describing the first number one. Uh, as I said, number one is Chateau de Noisy. It's the second one that it's the only one that I've seen twice. I tried 3 times and succeeded to see it twice. I managed to. The first time I didn't manage to do it, and the second and third time I did. And sadly got demolished, and the reason I wanted to see it was just seeing a rundown castle, and it kind of helped when I did hear about the history of it, and it was a huge place to go to if you were into urban exploring. So, which was why I wanted to see it, and I'm glad that I did see it before it got demolished. So this video would probably be a long one, but I don't care. Hope you liked the video. I will link I will link the videos to prove that I've been seeing them down below in the description. The Christ the Redeemer would be in my week in Rio de Janeiro, so you have to watch it to see that I've been there. So yeah, like and subscribe, and if you want to support my channel, you can buy some merch in the merch shop down below. Otherwise, peace.